I'd like to thank all of you and our sponsors for supporting our decision to move forward with a virtual Power of the Purse event this year. COVID-19 has resulted in unprecedented human and economic loss for many. It's changed our experience of work, worship, social and family gatherings, and how we mourn the loss of loved ones. It has also underscored the very real gender, racial, and economic disparities that have existed for too many for too long. Women, people of color, and lower wage workers have been disproportionately affected. Proceeds from Power of the Purse will absolutely make a difference in recovery efforts. So too will our individual and collective action. This is not about returning to normal or accepting a new normal. It's about creating a better normal that's inclusive of everyone. We've invited 8 remarkable women leaders on the pandemic's front lines in education, health, economic mobility, and basic human needs to share their perspective. Let's hear what they have to say about building a better normal together.
Working remotely is tough in isolation when you're doing this work. And we've seen 2 things. We see sometimes a silence that's really terrifying, and other times we see a spike.
Since the pandemic started, we've seen certainly an uptick in people needing basic needs, really.
I think what COVID has done is really brought forth those disparities in a very harsh light. Our community has always needed access to food. Our community has always needed access to healthcare.
The acuity of this illness has been significant and impacted clinical care dramatically. Supply issues have been something that everyone has heard about in the news, and managing that has been quite a bit of resources and energy to make sure that we have what we need and keep people safe.
We set up our clinical command center, open 24/7. People can call about COVID specifically, whether they were dealing with symptoms or they wanted to know more about it.
We are providing about 18,000 meals a week right now during this pandemic. And so food insecurity is big. Mental health is big. And if students are coming to school without their basic needs being met, we have to attend to that first.
We've distributed more than 700,000 meals to our youth. Technology, for example, is another area of need. And since we started distance learning, we've provided more than 11,000 devices to the students who do not have one at home. And, working with our partners like United Way and our staff and devoted community-based organizations, we've been able to identify the students without the devices and arrange to have that need met.
What do people need to focus on first? And that's really, maintaining a roof over their head, making sure that they're able to get food on the table, making sure that they have electricity and, those sort of basic fundamental needs.
COVID-19 testing available to as many people as possible. We set up our drive-through testing sites. We have been mobilizing testing resources and bringing them into the community.
Childcare workers are not amongst, the highly paid in our community. We hope that will change post-COVID, that there will bring some attention to the need to raise salaries of early childhood educators, particularly as we provided essential service to the community.
Those inequities that have existed are at the forefront right now, and people are interested in how to address them. Our leaders are talking about wanting to ensure that all communities have access. And so I think the ability that we're seeing of many different people to come together and to address this with a passion that probably has not existed before.
They are more aware now of how important technology is to their teaching. And, our teachers say that they now will continue to incorporate it into the future of what's possible with blended
These
learning.
are truly, truly perilous times. And if there is anything any of us can do besides say we're all in this together, it's to stay connected. Please stay connected. Please reach out to your family, to your friends, to your colleagues. Stay connected. It's how we all stay safe. It's how we all move forward.
Thing is, we see where we've fallen short as a nation or as a state, and I'm hopeful that we're going to take steps to try to close this gap in resources for our kids.